Okay, so does everybody have their notes?
Yeah, but let me get one more last good cough in before.
Yeah.
How's that?
You probably should have added that in the podcast, man.
I think I blew a blood vessel.
That was awesome.
Goodness.
I think you're cured now.
Hey, welcome to the Geek Retreat podcast. My name is Steven, and I am the host. I'm your host, specifically. I'm here today with Mick.
What up?
And Jason.
Maximum effort.
Don't pop a blood vessel. Take it easy, okay?
Okay.
Take it easy.
Right.
Don't hurt yourself. That sounded like you were lifting with your back and not your legs.
Possibly.
That's what I say every time when I go to the bathroom.
Maximum effort. Your wife's like, "Babe, are you okay?"
Yep.
You're like, "I'm fine."
My hair starts glowing and my eye blood vessels start popping.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, hey, we're recording a podcast again.
Yeah.
All right.
This is episode number 4, guys.
It's going quick.
Cuatro.
I know, it's gone fast, and I'm like excited. There's a lot of stuff to try to cover today.
Uh-oh.
There really is. There's been
Cram session.
a lot of the cram session. There's been a lot of stuff that's gone on in the entertainment world. Mick has been affected by the coronavirus.
Oh, damn.
No, Mick has not been affected by the coronavirus.
But if you have, you might as well just get the Lyme disease because corona and Lyme go together.
Oh, look at you.
Probably should have did that, huh? Anyway, no, I did catch a cold. I did get a little scared with all that, all them stories going around. I actually called down to Kaiser and they,
They said you're going to be
fine.
fine.
They asked me what was going on. And I was worried because there's some stuff going on in my chest or whatever, but it's nothing. I started feeling good a day after. I didn't even have a fever, so.
Well, thank God you're not, really affected by the coronavirus.
I still got a cough, though.
I'm glad you're sticking around with us.
So if I do cough, I apologize now.
It's okay. I'll try to edit as many as I can out of it.
Good luck.
So yeah.
Sorry.
Starting off with a bang. So speaking of coronavirus, it's getting crazy right now, and it's funny because it's not funny. I mean, I'm like, in all seriousness, I am sorry for the people who have lost their lives to the coronavirus and stuff. But it's really affecting a lot of stuff that's going on in the entertainment world right now. China has, where it started, they've declared a national emergency, and they've shut down all public gathering venues, so all movie theaters and stuff. And the global cinema box office is expected to lose $5 billion in revenue because of the coronavirus.
Damn.
Oh yeah, because China's a big market. Yeah.
China's a huge market for
box
movies.
office,
for box office. So it's crazy, and it's starting to come over our ways. And
I know they got 40 people over in Washington. Did they die or something? Not 40, but they didn't die. But they got 40 something confirmed cases right now.
Dude, it's crazy. And I was just watching the news tonight, and they were talking there's 21 people who were on a cruise to Mexico that have been infected, and it's crazy. It really is
right.
We joke about it, but it's is there actually something going on?
It's something to think about. I know it's a scary thing and how quick it's spreading and stuff like that, but I try to calm myself down because I freak out about stuff like that, man. But if the flu's already killed tenfold of what the coronavirus has done now, but you got to think about they're actually taking precautionary measures just so it could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I try to trick myself thinking, oh, everything's gonna be okay, Mick. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I just think it's getting blown out of proportion though a little bit though. It's kind of.
I do too.
Keep your tits strapped in, Mick. We're all good.
I just think if what didn't happen in Washington didn't happen, I mean, because that was just like a isolated incident in like a nursing home or something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So if that didn't happen and it wasn't that much of a death toll, there would only be like one other casualty in the U.S.
Right.
Yeah, I just feel like media has a big issue with it too. I mean, the news.
Well, they blow up everything.
Yeah, just like breaking story, breaking news. And it's just like, okay, come on. And then like I watched another segment that was like facts versus fiction on like the coronavirus. And the guy was like, to contract coronavirus, you literally would have to have somebody infected like sneeze into your face directly. Like you have to come in contact with it to your mouth, to your nose, or to your eyes. And he was just saying, like, keep washing your hands, like
wash your hands, people.
Yeah, but like that's my thing is like we're all like, are we all that bad at washing our hands? That we need to be reminded to wash our hands. Like use a paper. Yeah, that's the answer. The answer is yes.
Yes.
But like use paper towels to open up doors, and don't like be. They said don't touch your face. Did you guys see that meme going around with the lady from the CDC? And she's like, the number one thing you need to do is not touch your face. And she immediately licks her finger and turns the page to her nose. Wow. It's so good. It's so good. It's like, it was on the news, but I saw it. I think I saw somebody passing it around today at work.
Most people touch their face and not even notice. So she was sitting there talking about it, didn't even know.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. In an hour, you touch your face up to like 250 times.
What?
In an hour. Yeah, and you just don't. You touch your face so many times, you don't think about it. And I don't know. Like I think I was trying to think like how much do I touch I touch my face a lot. You go to like scratch out your forehead, you rub your eye, and you just don't even think about like what is on your hands or what could be on your hands. So
hey, so how's this affecting the Hollywood right now?
Well, it's
the movie industry.
Well, China is expected to lose $5 billion in revenue.
Right.
So worldwide. From other things, just recently, actually, like big news out of Houston, the South by Southwest conference or festival has been actually canceled.
Oh wow!
So I was kind of watching the story, and they had, that's like I don't know if you guys are familiar with South by Southwest, but it's a huge movies and music festival. It brings in like massive revenue. They expect like 500,000 people to be there, and big companies show up there. On the docket this year was like Apple, Amazon, and Netflix, and all three of them backed out. And then I think they just decided to like, okay, let's go ahead and cancel the whole thing. And that's huge. Like that's where a lot of like early screenings happen for movies.
Yeah, that's like one of the big ones. That Toronto, freaking.
I think they hold a movie festival or what are those film festivals where they give like the Sundance Film Awards and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know if Sundance is held there specifically, but
no, that's Sundance like is somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, there's movies that get like greenlit because of that festival, and so it's going to be interesting to see what.
Joker was screened at something like that. I don't know if it was South by Southwest, but Joker was screened first at one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other one that I recently just watched was the Marriage Story film. There is like that Netflix one with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. Yeah. I think that one was filmed there or at another music festival, and that was a good movie. It was like a hard movie to watch, but it was a good movie. And it's just crazy. Those kinds of it's affecting so much.
I wonder how the movie industry is gonna try to come up with that money that they lost. I wonder if they're gonna like work with some streaming services so they could drop the movie instead, because it's not gonna be in the theater, obviously, because it's shut down.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna work with some of these companies to drop it on like streaming services so people can watch it at home.
Oh, I'm sure they are. Yeah.
And still make money.
They have to do something like that.
Here's the problem with that, though, is that not okay. So like to go see a movie, like let's say there's a family of 5, each individual person has to pay for a ticket, right? When for Netflix, what is it like $12.99 or something like that, $14.99? Like that's one ticket. So if you have a family of 5 or 6, or if you say, hey, this movie just got dropped, let's say, I don't know, like okay, Onward. I know that I think it came out today actually. Let's say they did that with Onward. I would invite my whole friends and family over to watch it on Netflix. So they're still going to lose that revenue.
They'll lose it, but it doesn't necessarily work that way, though. So what ends up happening is how they get their money from a streaming service is the streaming service buys either the sole rights to it or something like that. So they pay a large sum of money to be able to exclusively or whatever be able to put it on their platform.
Right. So if one of these streaming services were to fork up the money to kind of make up for some of the money lost over in China or wherever they got these movie theaters shut down, maybe that's a way they could come up on that money. I don't know.
Is that what?
Yeah, that's what they did with Irishman. Irishman was originally supposed to just come out, I think, on streaming service, but they had a contractual agreement with like a select few theaters to say, hey, bring it out on our theaters first, and then we'll give you this such and such money. And then they had to bring it out on the streaming service afterwards. So,
was that the same story that happened with what was that Seth Rogen movie? Like The Negotiator or something like that?
Yeah, that was a different one. That was because of a controversy because of the whole
Kim Jong-un was all like, "Don't be playing that movie."
But did they
so they pulled it out of theaters for that reason?
But they went to streaming with it, didn't they?
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
So, like, did they get their money back? Is my question. Did they receive?
I can't believe they bowed down.
I don't know for sure, but I doubt it. I think they're just trying to save face with it because they already had the movie made. They had to do something with it, and they had to get some money out of it to try to recoup some costs. But I don't know for sure, but I would think that they lost some money on that.
That was such garbage. I can't believe that didn't go to the movie theater. It was such a good movie, man.
Well, you got to remember when it came out, it was like,
it
was during a really crazy time. It happened like right at the beginning of Trump's presidency, and
nothing's gonna happen. All them guys
says that the
cahoots with each other. They're just putting off a story because they want them oils or whatever. Anyways,
yeah, it says that it. I don't know. I'm looking at just the first, the first link on Google about was it called The Negotiation? Is that what it was called?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know exactly what it was called.
I can't remember what it's called. Why can't I think of it?
It's something along those lines.
Okay, if it's this movie, it says that the budget was 10 billion. No, that's yen.
10 billion.
I was like, $10 billion.
That doesn't sound right. No. Where'd all that money go?
No, this is not the movie I'm thinking of. Okay. Well, we're gonna scrap that. We're gonna scrap that because that's not the movie we're talking about. Anyway, in other in closer news, the new James Bond film, No Time to Die, has been pushed back because of the coronavirus. It was set to release, I believe it was April 20th or April 26th or something like that, and it's been pushed back to Thanksgiving. So they're trying to...
That's a horrible time for it, Thanksgiving. Well, I mean, it's not a horrible time, a holiday movie, but...
It's funny you say that because every James Bond movie has been released, almost every James Bond movie has been released in October or November.
Really?
So it was actually weird. It was actually weird that it got moved up so early in the year because it's usually a fall movie, a fall blockbuster. And I think there's only been like 3 other ones that have been released earlier in the year.
But like your summer, like for your major blockbusters, those typically happen in the summer though. Those are your time slots if you want to have a big movie. As far as box office success, that's usually the hitters right there in the summertime.
Yeah. Okay, so if I could go back, let's see. So the earlier ones were a little bit. The earlier ones were December. This is like from Thunderball. So is Thunderball the very first one? I believe it is. From 65. So in December, that's when that one came out. The next 3 came out in July, and then again in December. Let's see. There's some June, May, and then October. But since like, let's see, where's this at? October. Okay, so since 83, everyone has been released in November except for Dr. No and License to Kill and Goldfinger.
Did you know
I did.
My grandpa.
Fun fact.
My grandpa played in You Only Live Twice, the 1967 James Bond movie.
What?
Is it You Only Live Twice?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That's cool.
My grandpa Peter Maivia, and he was he was a car driver who goes in there and there's a fight scene, and he picks up the couch and throws it across the room, and he's fighting. He ended up losing because it's James Bond, obviously.
Right. Well, that's tight. So he actually had like a scene, an action scene that took place in.
Yep.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. That's my grandpa.
Huh. That's freaking cool, dude. I wish I could say that. I wish I could say, hey,
oh dang!
You know that James Bond movie?
I just fact checked you, and it's true.
Mm-hmm. You fact checked him?
I just fact checked him, and it's true. That's awesome.
Ain't that cool?
That's pretty cool. That's a cool fun fact to hang on to.
Anyway,
that's awesome, dude.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So that's kind of like where, where Hollywood is at right now with, in regards to the coronavirus. It's been crazy. People are backing out, and I wonder how it's going to affect stuff. I really do.
And how long it's going to affect it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing they were talking about on the news. They were saying that they're hoping, like, you know how like in the summer the flu virus kind of goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And they're hoping for the same kind of thing. You know, we're only in the infancy of this, whatever outbreak, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. But they did trace the source back to a bat, some fruit bats in China.
Really?
So,
people say it was a snake. Snake or...
Yeah, I don't know. Some kind of animal.
Too. I heard bat.
Well, it's weird too. That's
the very beginning of all this drama.
And I've also heard that it was created by scientists in Russia. Like some guy was arrested for something.
Okay, I don't know how deep this goes or if it's true or not, but they say there's no infected people in Russia right now, and there's no infected people in Russia right now for some reason. They're next door to China. They share a border, which is crazy, but you never know.
I mean, China's pretty big.
Yeah, China is very large.
Yeah.
It's the next big conspiracy theory.
Yes,
it's the next one. So, it'll be crazy to see like where this goes, and hopefully it ends soon, and hopefully people aren't super affected by it.
I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
I don't want to die from this. So,
I like Popeyes. I want to go to Popeyes again.
I want to go back to Popeyes. So
Get that chicken one more
time. Gotta get that chicken. So I put out a question today on the group about any backlog of games and videos or games and movies. And so I wanted to see if you guys have any massive backlogs like I do or movies to get to.
Yes, I got a ton of video games I got to catch up on.
Okay, yes. So is your backlog more heavily video or games or movies?
Not necessarily movies. Movies are because I got family. You guys got families. You understand. It's way easier to watch a movie on TV and chill with your family than it is spend a couple hours on a video game. You know what I mean? That's true too. There's like such a grind, and it's like a movie isn't based off of your skill set either. So you know what I mean? Like, I get movies. I could watch it whenever I want. I'll be like, hey, babe, let's throw this then she'd be all like, okay, let's watch it. But my video game would be all like, do I got time? But that's why my video game backlog is bigger than my movie.
I would say my video game backlog is bigger. I don't know. Mine's kind of 50-50, to be honest. There's a bunch of like old movies that I've never seen that I want to watch. It's just a matter. The problem is they're all like great movies, so I have to buy them, and I don't want to sit down and buy a bunch of movies. But so I'm like slowly trying to chip away this backlog. And then there's like current like movies or like TV series that I haven't watched that I need to get into. But then I have this backlog.
More of my backlog when it comes to, show entertainment.
Shows.
Like
yeah.
It's more like, because I like anime, my wife likes anime, and we'd be watching stuff not together sometimes, and so we'd be hopping back and forth. So I got a lot of things that I got to catch up on and try to finish the end. But all these animes got like 50,000.
They're super big. Yeah, they're super big. What about you, Jason?
Yeah, mostly mine is movies. I'm so behind and like I'm forgetting some of the things I need to watch.
You go back by and you're like, oh, I need to add that to my list.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's already on my list.
For one that's coming to mind, which I bought and I still haven't watched, is Alita Battle Angel. That's like so old right now. I still haven't seen that.
Dude, I saw that. Yeah, I saw it on. I was kind of intrigued by it, but I love the actor. What's his name? He's in all of the Quentin Tarantino movies. He plays like such a good villain. He played Dr. Schultz in Django Unchained.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know who's in.
He plays like the German Nazi, the main German in Inglourious Bastards, like the detective guy. I'm gonna get his name. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm gonna do some fact finding. But he's in it. He's like the main actor of Alita Battle Angel.
Gotcha.
Like he's the dad in that movie, and he's a great actor. Like I love watching.
Oh, Christoph Waltz. You said
yeah, I think so.
I think Christoph Waltz was the dad, right?
Oh, that's not.
Or dad, or the person that found her in the dump yard or whatever. But anyway,
right.
But Glass is also on my list. I haven't watched that
Christoph
yet.
Waltz. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, dang, he's Inspector. He's also in No Time to Die. Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
He's a really good actor.
Yeah. Also, I need to see It Chapter 2. I haven't seen Chapter 2 yet.
I just can't do horror. I haven't even seen It, and I can't.
You can't do horrors?
I can't do horror movies.
I'm typically not a horror person either, but It was like my childhood, so like it was remade from that. So I for nostalgic reasons I watch that. But no, I typically don't watch horrors either.
I just don't want to pay money to be
scared
out of my mind. Like that is not fun to me. You know what I mean? Like haunted houses. I don't like haunted houses. I don't want to have to like watch my back every single turn. You know what I mean? Like everywhere I go, I'm like, oh, okay, something's gonna jump out and kill me now.
As I've grown, I've got, because I hated watching scary movies, but as I've grown, I've kind of learned to enjoy them. Especially because my wife's a horror, horror movie,
like a junkie.
Yeah. So being with her, we just sit there and listen to it.
I can't. I just like. So I think it stems from like my brother growing up. I used to watch him play video games because like I wasn't allowed to play video games yet, and so he had like Silent Hill, and oh my gosh, watching that game, like my little brother got like nightmares from that game, and I probably did too. I don't, but that game scarred me. And I was just like, this is terrible. I don't want to like deal with the repercussions of this movie weeks, after it.
How old was your brother at the time?
My little brother?
No, the one that was playing Silent Hill.
My oldest. Okay, he's 9 years older than me, so he was probably like 13 or maybe older, maybe freshman in high school. And so I was in like 6th grade or something, or 4th grade. And just watching him play it on the PlayStation 1. And like you look back at it now and you're like, what am I playing?
Yeah.
What is this?
That happens, yeah.
Pixelated. I can't even see what's going on in this thing.
I didn't even know what to be scared at.
Where's the graphics? I can see 3 colors right now.
Yeah. So but during the day, those were like revolutionary, graphics at the time. So it was scary. It was some scary stuff. So then it was just like, I've never seen like Freddy Krueger. I've never seen Friday, whatever. Any of them. I've never seen any of them, really, to be honest.
Wow.
I've never seen it. I've never seen Chucky. I've never seen Chucky.
The reason why I got scared of scary movies was because I forget. I forget how old I was. I was like probably 9 or 10, right?
Right.
And it was time for bed. I was downstairs by myself. I snuck downstairs. That's what it was. I snuck downstairs to go watch TV when everybody went upstairs to go to bed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I come down. I turn the first channel on, and there's some funny movie on, and I was watching it, and I ended up falling asleep on the couch. And then when I woke up, The Exorcist was on.
Oh no!
And I was sitting there watching it, and then all of a sudden I see this chick turn her head around and falling all crazy, and I was so scared, dude. I was stuck on the couch. I couldn't move, nothing. I closed my eyes, trying to hold my. I couldn't get away.
Yeah.
So I sat through the whole freaking movie with watching it. I was terrified.
You're like paralyzed by fear.
Yeah, I still have. What's it called when you're shell shocked or whatever? What is that?
Yeah.
I got
shell shocked is like
whatever. I see that picture today. Still, I'm like,
like PTSD.
There you go. I got PTSD.
Yeah.
I see that picture. I'm like, I sit there and freak out. Just that movie though. I could watch any other movie, but it's that movie. I got. Yeah, dude, can't mess with it.
I can't do the horror genre. I can't do it. I can do comedy, action. I'll even do like rom-coms or dramas, but can't do it. There's a couple like action or not. I don't know if it's an action movie. Tom Hanks is coming out with a new movie that looks really good.
Yeah, Greyhound. Right?
It's called Greyhound, and it's like he's like a warship. He's a captain of a warship, and he has to. I think it's during World War II, and they're trying to cross the Atlantic, but there's all these U-boats that are like attacking them. They can't see the U-boats. It looks really good. And
so he wrote and directed this one, right?
Yeah, it's his own screenplay.
Or at least directed or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote. Yeah, it's a screenplay by Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, I wrote it too. Yeah.
Now we're talking about Tom Hanks real quick. I gotta bring this up.
Okay.
Did you guys watch Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it was weird.
Pretty sure I did. Oh no, I didn't.
Why the fuck did Woody leave?
I don't know.
So
I don't know. The end of his story arc.
Did you guys both saw it?
What? Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it too. I was disappointed in that movie, man. I loved all the Toy Story.
Yeah, you did.
Did I spoil it for you, Jason?
That was on my backlog list. No.
I think it's all right.
When did it come out?
It's out on streaming. I saw it on Disney Plus, so it's way past your time.
Should not been
well,
listening.
Get it. You got Verizon?
No, I don't have Verizon either.
Disney Plus right now.
No.
Oh man, you got to get on it. Anyway, yeah. It was it felt like a weird movie too. Like it felt like a forced Toy Story 4.
Right.
Like Toy Story 3 was I thought it was like one of the best.
Toy Story 3 was just good all the way around, man.
Yeah.
They should have
just
left
it at that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness.
Sometimes that's the thing is like sometimes a good movie is great because you leave the audience wanting more. I felt like I walked away with like, well, that's not Woody. You know what I mean? Like, that's not who Woody is. He doesn't do that.
No, he would have been on like, Bo Peep, you better come up on this.
Yeah.
Come up on this RV right now.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
Out there with no arm and shit.
It's really hard when it comes to movies to keep people's interest and keep things good for longer than 3 movies. That's typically why there's all these trilogies out there, So you usually do 1, 2, and 3. Anything beyond that, like you can lose your audience and lose the luster that you once had with that series or whatever. So
And I think there's like it makes me think of like Valve and what's the oh my gosh, Half-Life?
Mm-hmm.
You know how they made like Half-Life 1 and 2 and like there's all these like rumors about Half-Life 3 and they finally came out and said like we're not doing a Half-Life 3. And it's just like there's so much expectation to live up to that if they fail on that, it goes against them. And I wish that Pixar would have taken the same role in the Toy Story franchise because like the fourth one kind of like just diminished. Like I mean, we've mentioned it a few times, but look at Star Wars.
Right. Well, that's why they come out in trilogies. So they're 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Yeah,
but look at what I'm saying is look at how they failed in the expectation. Like the original 4, 5, 6 is like a great trilogy. It has a super good story arc. It's got the characters are engaging and like all of this stuff. They tried to redeem it with the prequels. The only really good prequel is, well, the great prequel is the Revenge of the Sith, and the Clone Wars behind that. And we won't even talk about the other one. If you tell me you like the Phantom of the Menace or whatever it is, then
wait, I mean, I get mine mixed up. That's the one with Darth Maul, right? Yeah, that's like because whenever I think of that one, I always think Darth Maul, and Darth Maul was awesome, and
so was Phasma, but they didn't ever like. That's the problem. They don't ever flesh out those characters. There's amazing characters.
I don't think you should ever compare Darth Maul to Phasma ever again.
No. I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
I know
that they're like they're comparable in the way that they disappoint. Like Lucasfilm's disappointed in the expectation that those characters held. Does that make sense? Like those characters, people were excited because of Darth Maul, but he did nothing. He died in the. He
was just a henchman, though. He was just they use him as the action level, and which, by the way, I still think that fight scene.
Stop.
What?
Don't.
What are you talking about? That's the best. Oh my god!
What are you talking
it is.
about? No, it's not. Go rewatch it. You're talking with.
I'm not talking to you, Steve.
Are you serious right now? Oh my gosh! It's like, Qui-Gon is just like fighting with him, and Obi-Wan is just standing there like waiting for his opportunity to like get through the stupid gates. They fight for a minute, and then he force grabs the lightsaber and slices him in half, and he falls down. It's like
that was.
Is this? I don't know. The fight, okay. I'll give it to you that the fight was okay. Whatever. Okay, whatever. What I'm saying is they didn't do anything with that character. That's what I'm frustrated about.
I am too.
They're like,
frustrated about that.
You think this like, okay, this guy's hunting Jedis and like all this stuff. Nope, he's dead.
He looked like
we're gonna go pod race now.
The coolest. He looked like the coolest villain ever.
Yeah,
exactly.
All Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying.
They ended it way too quick.
I guess. I mean,
with him, they
someone's
done a lot more
die
stuff
though.
I mean, honestly,
everyone can't keep living.
Well, flesh the story out a little bit more. Let him capture Anakin and start to take him under his wing, and then have the Jedi's come and rescue Anakin. Like that's a way more intriguing story than watching Anakin pod race to earn his freedom from slavery.
I guess, but I don't know.
You know, like there's so many other ways you could have gone with it. Yeah, whatever. When I was a kid when that movie came out, and the pod racing was cool. I was attached to it. I had the Lego pod racers. Whatever. Going back, it makes no sense.
You know what I wish they would have done a little bit more of if they did? I wish they would have elaborated more on, you know Jabba?
Yeah.
And he's part of it's a intergalactic mafia.
Black market. Yeah.
Black mafia. I wish they went into the story a little bit more because if you play, there was a RPG game. I forget what it was. Did you ever play that? It was
no.
almost like World of Warcraft kind of, but it was Star Wars.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, and it actually goes in the back. There's an actual planet where their species runs that planet, and kind of goes into the backstory, and it was kind of cool. But
and I mean the Hutts have been like they go all the way back to like Darth Bane. You know what I mean?
They've
like
been
they're like from the beginning. So they go way back.
Did you know you guys watched The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Season 2.
Yeah,
they say it's supposed to be coming out at the end of this year.
Yeah, I think it's October of this year.
Yeah,
they just finished principal filming on it.
You know, my uncle's like he loves Star Wars. He's like a super fan. You know? Yeah, he was telling me that, you know how everybody's calling him Baby Yoda. He's telling me that Baby Yoda isn't Yoda. What? He says that it's another being of his race, because this story takes place in between somewhere in the Star Wars universe. So, everybody thinks it's Baby Yoda, but it's not Baby Yoda.
Wait, so okay, sorry, I'm trying to follow. So describe that. Say that again, because this takes place when? What happened?
It takes place somewhere. I briefly talked to my uncle about it the other day, and we were talking about the Mandalorian because it's hella cool or whatever. But he said, you know how everybody's calling Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda or whatever? It's not Yoda. It's not Yoda as a baby.
No, it's not Yoda as a baby.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's a being of his race.
Oh.
And the story takes place in between all those episodes that they put out. A lot of people. He was all like, it fucking irritated me that everybody's calling Baby Yoda. It's not Baby Yoda. It's not Yoda.
Yeah.
Well, no. It's just a species. So Yoda, but Yoda is the only person of his species, and that's why there's so little known about. They don't even know the name of Yoda's species. And so that's where the confusion is. They're calling him Baby Yoda because he looks like Yoda. But it's not. And like the other thing was like everybody thought it was a clone of Yoda, and it's not. Because at the very end, remember at the last, I think it's the last episode, it says like this is a youngling, and so I think it confirms that it's not or what he called him a fondling, I think, and he's not a clone. He's an actual like youngling of that race, and so like this whole season is probably going to be based on like finding his home and all that kind of figuring out. I think that because that was his quest, is to like go and take him.
Right.
Because what's his name? That lady said like it's like by the creed that you care for him and you have no choice and you must reunite it with its own kind type of thing.
Right.
And so yeah, he's set to go. But I never because of the timeline. It takes place 9 years after the Battle of Yavin. Okay? And so Return of the Jedi is set 4 years after the Battle of Yavin, and The Force Awakens happens like 34 years after the same battle. So like it's super close to Return of the Jedi, which means that Yoda has already like passed on. You know what I mean? So he can't. There's no way for him to be. There's no way for it to be Baby Yoda.
Right.
They thought it was a clone.
Oh, so it takes place after.
It takes place after Yoda's life, basically, because he passes in I think he passes in the Return of the Jedi, if I can remember that right, because Luke goes and trains, and was that in?
I know, right?
I'm so mixed up. There's so many now. Whatever. Everybody says like, "Oh, this guy's the Star Wars guy." I
rely on
because there's too much pressure, and I don't want that because I get it all mixed up. But I like it. But I like Star Wars. I like to listen to it.
I like it a lot.
So, but I'm really excited for The Mandalorian. Was so good, and The Mandalorian was what I wished the last series was, the last trilogy was. That's like if we could have got that kind of writing and that kind of storytelling. It'd have been amazing, but we got a rushed version and other stuff. And I'm so frustrated about it. Like, they're on streaming. They're on like Disney Plus. I can go watch any of the new Star Wars on Disney Plus, except for the Rise of Skywalker. But I don't want to. Like, whatever. The Last Jedi was such a dumpster fire that I don't even want to go back into it. I get sad every time. You know what I mean? Like, it looks cool. They have so many freaking possibilities to go with it, and they just make it this weird agenda pushing piece of garbage, hot garbage.
Yeah, you know, and it was. The weird thing about it was, I mean, The Force Awakens wasn't that great of a movie, but it wasn't that bad either.
No, because
I thought it was a good setup for the new trilogy. I accepted it for what it was. I was like, okay, I'm interested in this. I'm interested to see what happens next, and then what happened next happened.
Yep. Yeah. Well, like I'm gonna get into it. I'm just gonna go. Here we go. The Phasma, right? She's known as like the fiercest, one of the fiercest warriors on the, for the whatever. Yeah. So I think like to play out her like story arc, they like totally misplayed it with her and Finn. Like she comes and she stops him, and she just like that. What should have happened is she should have just beat the living tar out of Finn. He should have gone away and trained, and then in The Last Jedi, instead of just putting her in a trash compactor, he should have like fought her again. Yeah, like what? How cool would it if he would have fought her again and won? Like he goes and trains and then comes back and he's like this new. He's like found his, because everybody thought that he was going to be the Force sensitive. Nobody thought Rey was going to be the new Jedi. They thought Finn was going to be the new Jedi. But it would have been cool if they would have like played into that a little bit and given you this idea of Finn taking the mantle of the Jedi, but not really. And then Rey comes out of it. That would have really, what did they say? That would have subverted my expectations if they would have set it up for Finn to be the new Jedi, and then Rey comes in and takes the mantle instead. Like that would have been cool. But that didn't. That's not what we got.
Well, I mean, I don't even know if that would have saved it. There was so much wrong with that movie.
No, yeah, there was no. That's just like one little piece of the whole puzzle, and all the pieces were missing to the whole puzzle.
You think Disney ruined it?
I full-heartedly believe that Disney ruined it. There's this subreddit. I don't know if anybody if you guys know what Reddit is. There's a subreddit called Saltier Than Crate, and it's fully based on throwing shade at Disney for ruining the Star Wars franchise. It's so you want to see some salty people, go on Saltier Than Crate and have a few laughs.
Hey, I like Solo.
What?
Solo was pretty good.
Yeah, Solo was good.
Yeah.
Rogue One was good.
Solo. I can't believe you guys just said.
I'm not.
Jason.
No, hold on. Okay, why do we got to fight? So much?
There it is.
Nobody's talking. Nobody's talking. You talking to me still?
Solo was so stupid and uncalled for. No one.
Solo was.
What was the purpose of that movie? No one needed to go back and see what Han Solo did before. That was so dumb. The premise was dumb, and then don't get me started. Sorry.
No, but I will say. Okay, so to your point, I do agree. I think the mystery behind the man is what
you don't have to do that with every person who was a main.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us stew in who this
person is. That's some of the intrigue of the character.
Let us form our own. Exactly. Let us live in that time. And, you don't have to try. Because, we talked about it, with books and movies, right? Because, your imagination is always going to be different from what the movie's going to put out. It's always going to be different. The same thing with these, mysterious, Boba Fett. You know what I mean? Nobody knows a lot about Boba Fett. Even, I think that's why The Mandalorian is so good, because nobody knows about The Mandalorian. And so they have this, blank canvas they can go with, and it's just
You know why The Mandalorian worked? The Mandalorian worked because they didn't try to make it a blockbuster movie in theaters. They knew, they took it for what it was, and they're like, we're just going to make a series out of it. And get a following that way. So they didn't try to go too big with it. So they did what they could on a limited budget, and they did great with it. And they just kept it as a series instead of trying to make it into this big glamorous movie.
I agree, I do feel that they stuck to lore, which is what helped them out the most. Like, they didn't sidetrack from what really happens in the lore after following Return of the Jedi. Like, they didn't sidetrack at all. And that's what Kathy Kennedy did. She just went, like, off script and, like, you know, made her own thing. And it was, like, totally wrong. It was totally wrong.
Hey, so, real quick, there's talks about Deadpool being, Deadpool 3 being PG-13.
Because of them being with Disney. But I've looked into it a little bit, and I don't think...
they can still make it. They can still make it.
Nope.
They can still make it good.
No,
because of this. Deadpool is aware that he is in a comic, in a movie. That's how he was written.
Yeah.
Right? So he could be making fun of all, like being censored.
Yeah.
So he cusses, they'll bleep it out. Or if something happens,
that'd be a lot of
out.
That'd be a lot of bleeps in a movie.
No, I know, but they'll blur it out. Just they could do it so it's entertaining to adults that are watching the movie, because they're making fun of the censoring of this movie just to make it PG-13, because he's aware and he could do that.
I don't know. It goes back to what we've been talking about. Expectations is like, I don't think you can. You set up this fantastic. Deadpool broke the script and took off because of how
they didn't think it was even going to do anything.
Yeah, and it totally destroyed in box offices. It was like number one forever, but like to revert back is it's going to be a huge misstep. Look at Wolverine and Logan. Everybody loves Wolverine at PG-13, right? Put it in Logan. That movie went crazy.
Yeah.
That movie was so good. And it was because you got to see like a real gritty Logan. That's how they portray these superheroes in comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, comics are not... again, I'm going to say this every podcast, I think, but I'm not a comic reader. But from what I get, like, some comics are not PG-13.
Yeah. No, they're real...
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're really gritty. And so, like...
At least a couple that I have, they're...
some
questionable things on that.
But the whole Deadpool thing, though, I think, anyway. Like Mick said, I mean, I didn't take it from that perspective. Yeah, I think what Mick is saying as far as the PG-13 making fun of that could work. But I mean, if you're going to revert back, though, I almost would prefer you just to do an X-Men movie and have him cameo or something and be in the X-Men movie. Because X-Men is going to be PG-13 anyway. So then just thrust him in there, and there you go.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I don't know if there's ever been under the Disney banner. I don't think there's ever been anything that's more than PG-13. But I don't know. Like, that's just going to be so hard. I don't know how they're going to do that. They can't pull it off. There's no way. There's no way.
They can, but
I'm not saying that I'm guaranteeing it's going to be a funny, good movie. I'm just saying it's going to be interesting of what they're going to do with this character in this PG-13 movie, because that's a possibility that he could be making fun of censoring and how it works.
I just like, the guy's name literally is Merc with a mouth. How do you go? You have to. Let's just look at it from a business standpoint. Don't even look at it from like whether it could be a good movie or not. Because like that's what the bigwigs are looking at it as from a business standpoint.
What sells? Sex and
drugs
violence.
And rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So like to have two successful movies. I mean, Deadpool 2 was an okay movie. I mean, like I only watched it once. Deadpool 1 I watched tons of times, but like Deadpool 2 still did great, and they didn't revert from that same guy. Like, they've set the expectation for them to put out PG-13. It'll do terrible. It'll flop, I think.
You think so?
Well, I think we all expected this, right? When
I want to watch it,
Disney bought Fox. I can't think of any Disney movies that are rated R. I mean, at least not off the top of my head. Can you guys? I mean, because Disney don't do rated R movies.
Yeah, no. Well, and
they had their doubts about the first one, and guess what happened?
Well,
No, but that goes against what I'm saying. Like, they had their doubts about the first one because they were like, we're going to release this. It was a Fox movie. Remember that. It wasn't a Disney movie. And they were like, okay, let's take a chance in it and see. And Ryan Reynolds was a huge advocate for pushing it.
Right.
I can't imagine him like stepping down and saying like, oh, yeah, you know what? Yeah, PG-13 will probably be okay. I just can't see that. It's hard to believe. You know what I mean? I was looking into it, and I was reading somewhere that it's not known yet if it's PG-13. Like, it's being discussed because it's under the Disney banner now. But I've heard that it still could be rated R.
I really doubt it.
Like, the writers are fighting
I wouldn't bank on that at all.
So he stepped down. And then, have you seen the new, like, I guess you haven't because you don't have Disney. Mick, do you have Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Okay, you probably haven't seen them, though. They're called Disney Spark Shorts.
And
so
I know I watched a whole bunch of those shorts that are on.
There were four little shorts that were greenlit. And they were given like a budget of like $100,000 or something like that, like super small budget. And they gave it to like little departments, and they said, go make whatever film you want to make. So they're like, they look cartoony, but they are some gritty cartoons. They're actually like, we were watching it with my kids. We had to turn one off because we were like, what is happening? She like, there's like one about this ball of yarn trying to make it in a men's work world. And so she's like trying to like be a man, she's like whatever, trying to like convert a little bit. And so they're telling like super raunchy stories near the water cooler. And then she gets up on the table and they're talking about stocks, and she's like, well, yeah, well, corporate can kiss our, and she drops like the A-bomb in a Disney Pixar film. I don't know. I need to look more into it.
So what game? What games do you got on your backlog, Steven?
Well, I was just going back to the Disney rated R thing. Disney's a giant right now, and they're winning everything when it comes to entertainment right now. They're the people to beat, and they hold all the cards. I don't see anybody walking in Disney and saying, "Hey, this is how we're going to do things." No, that doesn't work that way. Disney is Debo right now, and he's looking for his 40 money.
So here's sports reference. So here's the thing, though, because like this just happened in news last week. Bob Iger stepped down as CEO, and I'm like, what is happening here? Like these, like that's not Disney, right? You know, so. What I'm saying is they may be going a different direction. So maybe they're going to try to like like Cartoon Network had like the Adult Swim.
I mean, it's one thing they might streaming having that something kind of gritty like that, but movies, I don't. I don't see. I mean, I could be wrong. I could not know anything what I'm talking about, but I just don't see it.
Who knows? It's all up in the air. We'll keep paying attention to it, and we'll update when we can. We'll see what we'll see what the couple weeks bring. I'll look more into it before before the end of the week too. So Mick, you wanted to ask me my game catalog.
Yeah.
So my game catalog is quite large. I get sucked into games like Call of Duty. So I'm like totally in Call of Duty right now. And it's good. There's bugs, but what I love about it is that the devs have been really listening to the like the players. Yeah. And so there's been things that like they've asked for, and like on Reddit, they've been like, hey, there was a big thing about player collision, right? So like if you had a person on your team and you guys ran into each other, you could like bump your player off his like line or vice versa.
Right.
And so like that's never been a thing in the Call of Duty. So they were like, get this thing fixed. And they fixed it with a big update. And the updates for that game are huge, by the way. Right. They're massive. That game takes up more hard drive space on my PlayStation than any other game. And so I've been sucked into that game. But I want to get to some like old RPGs that I've never really played. like BioShock. I started like BioShock
I
1.
completed them. They're all good.
Yeah,
you got
like that's the
PlayStation
thing.
now? You got
Yeah.
PlayStation now?
No, I don't have PlayStation now, but
They
they
got
were
all
on.
of them.
I have them in my backlog. They've been like free games for like PS Plus,
Okay.
and I have them I had them on my hard drive, but they needed to be like re-downloaded. So I'm like in the process of. I bought a new hard drive, like 500 gig hard drive or 1 terabyte, and I'm like starting to download games back onto
Internal or
it.
external?
External.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was just like, I don't know, like $70, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. I need to download these games. But that and what's the game? Borderlands. I've never completed.
That's a
I
good
know.
series.
Yeah, they're
I
all
enjoyed
great
it.
series. I've played through Borderlands. Like the first one, I played like halfway through, but I've never finished it.
I haven't played the new one yet. I'm kind of excited to get it.
Newer games. I was gonna the Jedi Fallen Order. I haven't beat that one yet. I need to beat it. And you run through that thing?
No, I didn't even get to. I didn't even buy the game.
Oh, it might have been somebody else from work got it.
Right. No, but I actually got a chance to play that game, and that game is pretty sick, dude. I thought it was gonna be like Bloodborne and what's the other game? Sekiro.
Oh,
Sekiro.
yeah. Sekiro.
Because all those games are like super hard. But so I didn't want to.
It feels like
because I'm still working on Sekiro. I'm still trying to get through that game. That's one of the games one of the games that's on my list for that.
I'm just not good at those games, and so I'm having like a really hard time. I'm on like the normal difficulty, and I'm having a really hard time. I'm not good at like timing games, like For Honor. Yeah. I love multiplayer games, but I'm terrible at For Honor because I just want to button mash.
For Honor was so fun.
Yeah,
and then
it's a good game.
And then they made characters, and then it was so OP. People became OP because they would just do a certain combo that you couldn't block their parry and all that stuff, and it was like it got so impossible to play anymore.
It was just like it was no longer fun,
right?
When you couldn't, because like you can only have one of those. Can it be only one of those characters can play at a time, or did they change that? Is it like Siege, or like Overwatch, where when you select the character, there can't be a duplicate of that character?
No, you could be multiples.
I don't
know if they changed it at the very beginning. You could have multiples.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I felt maybe that was the thing. I felt like because I like the Vikings, I wanted to play as the Vikings. And I just like got beat by the samurai every time. It was just like samurai. Everybody was a samurai.
I was like,
come on, this isn't fun.
I didn't have a problem until they started dropping new characters.
Yeah.
Once they started dropping the new characters like the ninja and all that stuff, it started getting super hard because whatever their combos were, you couldn't.
It's like unbeatable.
Yeah, it was just.
Or you had to have like the most perfect timing. Yeah, you have like a millisecond of a window to try to hit.
Right.
I'm just I'm not good at that.
Dude.
That's why I like Call of Duty.
When it first came
I can just run around and I can aim and I can pull the trigger and I can fan my gun around until I hit somebody.
When it first came out, it was dope because everybody didn't know the combos and everybody was just button mashing. So it was like a big old war. Everybody's just in there throwing their axe around. You know what I mean? It was fun. It was fun as heck.
Yeah, it was a good game. And I have it. Like I just need to download it, and maybe I need to get into it a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's dead. I ain't even gonna pick that game.
I know friends who still play it, but it may be dead.
For me, it is.
Yeah, but then so that's Jedi Fallen Order, but it felt like a lot like that. I need to play. There's what's that game? It's like Skyrim. Like I still need to beat, but I guess nobody ever beats Skyrim, so. Like that game takes eons to beat, so I don't know when I'll ever find.
I still have not beat the game.
Yeah,
because I get caught up in just exploring the whole world and going to every little cave. I get sucked into that game.
Yeah, that was the thing, especially like because we're playing D&D so much now. That game is D&D. Like
D&D is the root to all RPG games.
Oh, for sure,
play nowadays.
for sure.
It is.
Yeah. And so, like, I want to do that. There's another one, World of Warcraft. I've never played, like, World of Warcraft.
You never played World of Warcraft?
No,
oh,
no.
My goodness.
I played, what was the one that was, like, StarCraft, but it was with orcs? You remember that one? It was like, it was kind of like Age of Empire, but it was with orcs. And I always thought that was World of Warcraft.
Oh, it's like, no. That's Warhammer.
It's something different.
I think it's Warhammer.
Okay, maybe. But yeah, so like I never played, and I want to play WoW, but that's the other thing. WoW is such a commitment. You got to pay for the subscription, and you got to do raids with friends, and it's just like
it's very time consuming, and I was never able to get into that. I tried that like 2 or 3 times. It can, man.
My life.
Yeah, and then I've been trying to. It's called Warcraft. That's what it's called. It's not Warhammer. It's Warcraft.
Warcraft.
Yeah, Warcraft.
There is a Warhammer, and they're all like armored up.
So I used to play Warcraft, and I thought it was WoW, but it wasn't WoW. Anyway, but the other thing too is like there's games that I've beat, like Spider-Man, that I've been trying to go back and do like you can do the Spider-Man Plus game where like guys are harder to fight and that kind of stuff. Like
Spider-Man Plus.
I can't even think of it. When you beat the game, you play the game again. You play it through from the very beginning, but it's got like added baddies and like added collectibles. I think Spider-Man Plus isn't the name of it, but that's a game that like that was a good game, and I want to go back and play it, but I just don't have time.
It's still genre of game. I was just looking up Warcraft. It's still the same. It's not the same game, but it's still in the same.
Oh, it's not the same game as Warhammer?
No, it's not the same game as Warhammer. No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I was like, what?
Anyways,
no, Spider-Man is the same game. Yeah, there's like an arcade mode that's like better, but you know, that's a game I'd like to 100%. That's a very attainable 100%.
Hang on, what game are you guys talking about? Sorry, I was looking up Warcraft.
Spider-Man.
Oh, Spider-Man! I 100%ed that game.
Yeah, I need to get on it.
One of our listeners was talking about wanting to get back and get that 100%. I did. You know what was the hardest thing about that game? Get the 100%, the achievements. It was 2 things that was the hardest things for me. There's challenges, right? There's different types of challenges, but the 2 hardest ones that were for me were the ones that were like races almost. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You gotta
where you had to like chase the drones.
Yeah,
through the zones.
Yes, that was the drones.
Yeah,
where you have to follow the drones or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you got to chase the drones through the portals.
One of the hardest things I had to do on the game. The second thing that was hard to get that 100%er was the fighting, where you had to fight the guys inside the.
So so there were 2.
Get a certain amount of points.
Yeah. So there were those ones, but then remember the chick that like streams the videos. Remember that one?
Yes.
She comes on like those are super hard too, and you gotta like because you gotta time her to take a picture at like a certain frame, and I'm like it's a good game. The game's amazing. The game is so good, but like it's 100%. You gotta grind. So good luck to you, viewer.
You'll get it.
Yeah,
I promise.
Yeah,
I did
keep at it. Yeah, it's possible. And like when that game came out, people were 100% in it super fast, like within a week or 2. So it's no like Red Dead Redemption. You know, it doesn't take 4 years to 100%.
Right.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah.
Thank you for watching, viewer. Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess we can go into that. So we have created a Facebook page, and we actually have a group. It's not a page. It's a public group. And it's called the Geek Retreat Podcast. And so you can go on Facebook. You can look that up, the Geek Retreat Podcast, and request to join. And we'll invite you in and become part of the family.
You'll see my fat ass pointing at a dice.
That's it. It's us. The page is us playing D&D. So the cool things that we do on that on that group is we like to settle debates sometimes. So in the past podcast, we've been talking about a pretty big debate, and I think it's pretty relevant with
Batfleck.
It's Batman. Okay, so the debate is who's the best Batman. Me and Jason got into it. Well, I didn't get it. Friendly. We had a friendly banter back and forth about who's the best
friendly
Batman.
banter.
Yeah,
we had a friendly banter.
Tea and crumpets, and we could not decide on who's the best Batman. So we put the vote to you guys, and boys, the results are in.
Yes, what are the results?
Are you ready for the results?
No, okay. Wait, I'm not yet. I just want to say one thing before you say the results.
Of course you're not.
Go ahead.
Well, I already know where it's going to go.
Okay.
But I do want to say, though, that I am quite surprised because there was more votes going another way.
I was too.
I'm surprised that people came out and represented, but okay. But anyway, so
yeah. Okay. So, actually, out of the six, or I put 6. I didn't do like there's another guy that was in like an animated series and that kind of. I didn't put any of that in. It was like video movies. Whoever played in the movies. So there were 6 people who played in the movies. We put Ben Affleck, Christian Bale, George Clooney, Michael Keaton, and Val Kilmer, and Adam West from the original. And so out of those, only 3 people were really voted on. Okay, so in third place with like a very tiny, like a third of the votes with 3 votes. There are 24 votes total. With 3 votes was Adam West in third place.
Okay.
So we got some some old school,
some
Batman
classic lovers out there.
Yeah. All right. So dudes and dudettes, because there are women.
Right.
We got to be politically correct here. And the runner-up to the who's the best Batman question with 9 total votes, that's 38% of the votes, is, drum roll, Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I'm surprised that 9 people came out to vote for Michael
means
Keaton. I appreciate that.
The viewers agree that the number one Batman is Christian Bale.
Yeah.
The Baylor.
Okay, wait, how many votes is that?
So it was 12 votes. So there were 24 total votes.
Okay, yeah.
Christian Bale had 50%. Okay. Christian Bale had 50% of the votes. Michael Keaton had 38%, and Adam West had 13%.
Yeah, I still believe people are confused.
Bro?
He got
Where's
0.
Batfleck?
He got 0.
No, yeah, he's not the best Batman. He just was the best one to go be a Bruce Wayne and Batman combo.
Right. Yeah, I will say. Here's what I will say. Here's what I will say about Michael Keaton. He reinvented Batman.
In what way do you mean that?
That people took the movies more seriously because of Michael Keaton, right? So he was like the first one, right, to do like a live one. Well, no,
yeah,
no. Wait.
Live movie, I think, yeah.
Yeah, was he with? Because he was with Jack Nicklaus, right? That was like.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Michael Keaton and Jack Nicklaus, the golfer,
yeah, the golfer.
Jack Nicholson. So Adam West, his was known as this like super slapstick, like bang, boom, pow, like zoink Batman.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton was the one who took it and was like, oh dang, we can make like a serious Batman out of this.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I did like Jack Nicholson as the Joker though.
Yeah.
As for that time.
Where they get a load of me.
He did really good.
Yeah.
He did really good.
Well, that I want to get into that too, because I think we need to, now that we put the poll out for who's the best Batman, we got to put the poll out for who's the best Joker.
Yeah.
With Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger, and there's a good amount of Jokers that could be voted on. So we are gonna put out on our Facebook page.
I feel like Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger could be the same person.
No. So I was talking a little bit like this with Jason, and I wish I would have said this like earlier. And Jason, try to help me remember
he had a
my
good
thoughts.
Point.
Okay. So in the Dark Knight, there's a quote that was given that some people just want to see the world burn. Remember? You remember that quote? Okay.
Right.
So that Joker, you walked away like scared of that Joker. Okay?
Right.
The reason people love that Joker, the reason I love that Joker is because he has no rhyme or reason. He's just like a crazy guy, right? He has no motives. He literally just wants to create chaos. And Batman is there, and the whole movie, he's just toying with Batman. That's the whole thing. He's like laughing he's getting beat up by Batman. He's laughing because he's getting to Batman. He's like, that's his purpose. It's just to like show the world that this Batman is like not all he's cracked up to be. And he's doing he does a great job at it.
Right.
In Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, it's like a tragic story of this guy who had a terrible upbringing and who's like, you know, never had a father figure and had this deranged mother who like is just wilting away, and he's like has this disease that nobody can cure and nobody takes him serious as a person, and he has dreams and aspirations and nobody can I walked away like feeling sorry for Joaquin Phoenix Joker, right?
Right.
The issue that I have is that
I could still see him evolving into a Heath Ledger, though.
I just find it hard because what I was going to say is that you walk away and you realize that Joker now has a motive, right? He's going to put down all the people that have put him down in the past, starting with Murray or whatever. Like if the Wayne family didn't, like if the Wayne parents didn't die, you know that he would be going after them next. And like, that's the thing. That's not who the Joker is. The Joker has no rhyme or reason. He just does stuff because he wants to create chaos. In Joaquin Phoenix's Batman, he has a purpose behind his chaos. He has there's an end goal somewhere. And we nobody, we don't even know who Batman is in that one yet. Well, I mean, we know little Bruce Wayne, but we don't see Batman. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I like to believe that. I like to believe that the Joker happened because of Batman, not before Batman.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And so that's where I fall on this whole Joker. That doesn't diminish what Joaquin Phoenix did. That was a fantastic performance. It's like a tragic performance. It was really good, and you walk away exactly the way the directors wanted you to walk away, was feeling sorry for that Joker and having sympathy towards this villain, quote unquote. In The Dark Knight, you're walking away oh my gosh, I'm scared right now because that may be a real person. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of
you did a good job of reiterating what you said earlier. And
I get it.
But although that's a very good point, you brought up. But I mean, I can still see, because someone also has to have a start somewhere, right? So I mean, maybe his beginnings was him getting back at people, but then once he did, then maybe he's like, oh, I love this. I'm just gonna do it just because I enjoy the feeling of it. So it could evolve from it. Maybe.
Okay, so to go with that, the only way I could see it happening is that let's go from Joaquin Phoenix's timeline, and that he has this purpose, and then this guy comes up out of nowhere and starts disrupting this chaos being created, right? And who is Batman, right? So he's like, no, I'm not going to let this happen. One, I'm not going to let him win, and two, I'm not going to let him see that I have a purpose as well. So I'm just going to go crazy and dive even more into this crazy person that I am. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does, but I think that kind of makes it it goes against what you're saying, because then now he's thinking deeper into it, oh, now I gotta think ahead of this person, so instead of just being random.
So I will say he wasn't random in his thoughts. Like,
no, yeah, he's like well orchestrated stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Right. He was a seasoned villain who like knew where to pull the right strings and what the right buttons were to push.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when he tells them to go save what's her face and what's his face?
Yeah, Harvey Dent.
What's her face and what's his face?
I knew Harvey Dent. What's her face?
I know, I forgot her face. What was her
what's
name?
Her face?
But like he knew. I mean, like we look back and like, well, duh, yeah, of course he knew. He knew that he was giving because like I didn't know he was giving them the wrong address. I thought Batman was going to go save her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that little twist is like that was so good.
Yeah,
and he knew that was happening the whole time. He's just like laughing about it, and I don't see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker being that clever. But again, that's the origin story or a quote unquote origin story of the Joker.
Right,
so
maybe
he develops those brain smarts over the years.
Over the course of time.
Maybe it gets there.
Maybe.
So yeah.
Maybe not.
So who knows? So speaking of Batman, we gotta rush for time here, but there's been new photos released of Robert Pattinson's Batman. Have you guys seen them?
Of the car? Of the Batmobile?
The Bat car? Yeah, the Batmobile.
Of the hot rod?
I like it. I think it's kind of gritty.
They're kicking it old school, dude.
I like it. I think
it's you guys like anything, bro. What the heck? You guys just eat it up. They put some out there, you're like, yum, 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 yum. You guys just eat it up. No, it doesn't even look like a Batmobile. It just looks like I said, like a hot rod. Like someone like built that in their garage. Like Dominic Toretto put that together or something.
That's well, hey, Fast and Furious, I can go with that. So here, okay, so I was looking into it, and I was wondering, like, okay, where is this Batman like taking place? Like, it's not a seasoned Batman, right? I read something that from the director, it's about Batman like 2 years into his crime fighting stuff. So like, I don't think he's met Lucius Fox yet. I think he's still like very much doing things on his own. He's not like, I don't know. I'm really interested.
But is he a billionaire yet? I mean, does he have his own resources yet?
I don't think so. Well, okay,
he is because he's been
he's still
he's been a billionaire because
exactly
he inherited all that.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. Like you still got to have the resources as a rich, powerful person in Gotham City. Yeah. So whether you met Lucius Fox or not, I mean, you still should come out with something better than what you got, I think.
But I could see that being a movie because nobody really talks about how Batman really gets into doing fine
they never show it.
Yeah.
You know why I like it? It kind of gives me like Mad Max.
But it shouldn't. Man, your Batman shouldn't give you a Mad Max.
I like that game.
I think that's a bad thing.
That's very true. I don't know. I like it. It's gritty. I think it. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to say. They're also not taking it as this like crime fighting guy, but they're going to look more into the aspect of his like detective
skills. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to be more detective Batman than he is going to be like Caped Crusader fighting crime that way.
And
Batman,
how compelling is that going to be? Do you think?
I don't know. I don't really know. But we've never seen that side of Batman. I don't think.
I think it would be better served as a combination of the two, not necessarily just
he's
primarily
gonna fight.
His detective.
Like but he's gonna fight.
Well, yeah, obviously, but I mean, but
better fight.
Yeah, but I mean, but he's saying, and when I say he, I'm talking about Matt Reeves because this was his idea. Yeah. The director he wants to primarily focus on that. So, which means that there's going to be it's going to be kind of crime drama oriented is what I get from it, as opposed to it being, in which if you watch a crime drama, there's some fights in there, but it's not like an action movie fight. So I mean,
the only thing, if it's a crime drama, the only thing I want is at the final end when he kills whoever, if it's the Penguin, I want him to put on sunglasses and I want the Miami Vice music to play. And walk away with the cheesy punchline. If that happens, I'll be happy.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I'm a little intrigued. I think we have until what is it, like 2021? It's coming out June 2021.
Yeah.
So I hope they take their time on it. I hope coronavirus doesn't push it away.
Die.
Yeah, just like I want to see it. I am kind of feeling though that remember that like Star Wars fatigue that was happening towards like the end of the Rise of Skywalker. Like, okay, another Star Wars movie. Okay, here we go. I don't want that to happen with Batman.
I think it already has.
And
happened.
I think it has. It's like, there's got to be more,
There's
other
so many
compelling
other
superheroes.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
Yeah,
you can argue that it happened with Spider-Man too.
I know we're talking about DC, but they need to come out with some more Silver Surfer stuff. Fox needs to drop that ownership because obviously they're not doing anything with it.
Well, Disney has it now.
Well, Disney has it, yeah, but like
because Silver Surfer is an awesome hero.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be interesting. I wonder if superheroes was a fad, to be honest. Like, I wonder if it's dying out. DC hasn't put out a good superhero movie, apart from Wonder Woman.
And Aquaman.
Aquaman was okay. The CG is just terrible in Aquaman.
The CG was awesome in Aquaman. What are you talking about? What movie did you watch?
No, it looked like plasticky. It looked like plasticky. That's my problem. Is like the lighting was wrong.
It looked like they were actually in water swimming. That sea creature fight at the end was awesome. I mean, I don't know what you're looking at.
That big old war.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Okay, I'll admit that.
Yeah, rewatch it. Rewatch it, and then
Maybe I was on 720 or something like that. I wasn't watching it in full high def. But I don't know. I just want I want to see good CG. I want to see good because we got to have good CG, and Marvel pulls it off. They do a really good job at it. And,
sometimes.
I feel like most times.
Most
times they do a really good job at it.
But because it's funny you say that though, because I don't know if you noticed in some of the bigger movies, like I think what was it, Infinity War? There was some horrible CG in Infinity War. People overlooked it because it's Marvel.
Yeah, I know. Black Panther had terrible CG as
well. Black Panther as well, yes.
That final fight scene was horrendous.
That's the only thing that ruins that movie.
I completely agree with you. Yeah, that fight scene at the end, you're just like, what am I watching? Like, is this a video game all of a sudden?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it goes it's lighting. It's a lighting. They can't recreate natural lighting, and who knows?
It's and rendering too. I mean, because sometimes when you have your slot, because people slate their slots for when their movie's going to come out, like a year or two in advance.
Right.
I think 2 years in advance. So then when you get crunch time and it's like, oh shoot, we got to put this out here. We're not quite ready yet. You got to put some product out there. Yeah. Sometimes the rendering is just not fully complete yet.
Yeah. Yep. I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I won't say I'm holding my breath, but it's piqued my interest. My interest is as pointy as the new cow on as pointy as the ears on the new cow. That made no sense, but I thought it was
no, it made absolute sense actually. If you know what the cow looks like, it makes absolute sense.
Go look up the pictures of the set. Look up the pictures of the cow first, like the very first pictures that were released, and then go look up like the newer, because it feels like noir, like that kind of like 20s crime fighting noir.
I think that's what he's going for. I think he's going for that kind of look. I like those too. I mean, it could be good. I don't know. I'm tired of Batman already.
Yeah. Can Batman kill somebody with a Tommy gun? Oh, he doesn't kill.
He doesn't?
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Oh, my God.
Let's get that in there. So, no, it's good. But I do want to thank everybody for putting their votes in. That was awesome to see, like, so many people being interactive.
Even though your votes were misconstrued. And
you've hurt Jason's feelings,
led astray.
So you can write on the page and say you're sorry, or keep laughing in his face that he was wrong. You be the judge. You be the judge. So, but I think it's about time to wrap up. We've got a chunky bit of stuff that we've gone through today.
Information.
Yeah. So, I do just want to say again that, we do have the Facebook page. I think for the time being, we're going to primarily focus on interacting with you guys as listeners through the Facebook page. So definitely go seek that group out. It's the Geek Retreat Podcast. It's a public group. There's no questions you got to answer. It's literally like a click or 2 clicks and you can be in the group. And we're going to be putting out another poll. And that's going to be on who the best Joker is. So get in now. We're going to run it. I think we're going to run it from Monday when this episode releases all the way to Wednesday when we go to record. What do you guys think? Is that a good time frame?
That sounds good.
Give it a whole week.
Yep.
And then the other thing we did something pretty cool on the last podcast. We did a top 5 list and we got a lot of positive feedback from that. So I want to ask you as the listener, what do you want to hear more of our top 5s in? We can do games. We can do, I think a good role we can go or a good way we can go for now is movie genres. So we can we did our top 5 movies. And if you want to recap, you can either listen to last week's episode or go to the Facebook page and see them there. But they were kind of all really broad movies. We were kind of all over the place genre wise. So, we could do top 5 in the genres. We can do top 5 video games. We can do top 5 fast food restaurants. We can do whatever you want.
Whatever you want to hear.
Obviously
Popeyes is gonna be out.
Mick really loves Popeyes. I'm gonna get you a chicken sandwich one of these days.
I love them chicken sandwiches.
Have you been sponsored by Popeyes? Are you getting that check
is this episode sponsored by Popeyes? Can somebody make that happen? Any of you listeners out there, can you make this happen? A sponsorship by Popeyes.
I love Popeyes. Right. Just pay me in chicken, dog. Just pay me in chicken.
Just pay me in chicken. Don't even give me money. I don't even want your money.
Fuck a breast, fuck a leg. Give me a thigh, dude. Give me a thighs.
So, So go follow us. Go follow us on Facebook. We do have a YouTube channel that we are in the works with some behind the scenes stuff. I did that in an evil villains pose where my fingers are together. Some things in the background. So we're probably gonna. I think the first thing we're gonna run through is a game. We'll all record a game together and a story-driven game. Maybe a horror game. Those are usually pretty popular. So maybe tell us what kind of game you want to see us play, and then these are all kind of we don't have anything set for these, but these are in the works. But we also want to set up a streaming. We want to set up a stream. So one night, probably a month, we'll get together, stream a game, and you guys can hang out with us and watch us live and interact with us live, and it's pretty awesome. So we really just want to thank you guys for tuning in, for putting up with our wrong
nonsense
facts and our terrible banter and our nonsense. But I don't think we can say it enough how just grateful we are for the response we've been getting from just this thing kind of taking off. So we want to keep doing it. We're really excited to do it. But you guys interacting with us and spreading the word of who we are and what we're doing is huge. We joke about having a sponsor, but we do not get paid to do this, and we do it because we love movies and games, and they're a part of who we are, and we want to share that with everybody. So if you like it, please share it with your friends. Share your post on your page so people who aren't in the group can see it. If you're talking to family and friends or whoever, just say, hey, I've been listening to this podcast and I want to share it. We would be super grateful for that. Yeah, we are really grateful for it. So you guys are awesome. We're going to wrap up this episode and it'll be out Monday. Monday morning is our release date. So every Monday is a new episode for the podcast. And that's kind of it. You guys.
So if you're listening, it's already Monday. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah, happy Monday. Sorry you have to go to work, but it's Monday. Oh, hey, don't forget to change your clocks. What is it? Fall forward, spring forward, because you're going to be an hour late.
Oh,
if you wake up. So
is it this weekend?
Yeah, it's this
on Sunday. Yeah.
So Monday is going to be extra rough.
Yeah.
But like a chafe, put some sweet baby oil on it.
I got corona.
Called the Geek Retreat Podcast. That sweet baby oil called the Geek Retreat Podcast. Just rub that on there, and your chafe will go away. Your Monday morning chafe will go away. That's weird.
That's so weird.
We're done. All right. Thank you guys, and we will talk to you guys next week. Have a good week.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.